chapter 11 is point of view, and point of view usually is a perspective of where the story is. There's many different types of them, and you could have first person, second person, third person, and those are the different types of them. And then it just gives you a different feeling, and they use different pronouns and things like that to describe the story. And let's see. The first one is a participant, which is actually in the story, or first-person narrator, or first-person point of view. The first-person narrator is always a participant in the story and can either be a major or minor character. This type of tale-telling relies on the perspective of a single character through the eyes and by means whose voice we come to understand the action of the story. And my example of that from the poems is from, let's see, it's the poem Brownies, and it says, "The bell layered with feathers was uncanny enough, but I was more disturbed by the realization that I had never actually seen a baby pigeon. I searched weeks for one in vain, scampering after pigeons when I was downtown with my father." So he's saying the pronoun I, which is referring to himself, which is in the first person because he's the one who is actually telling the story. And they're usually known as unreliable narrators, one who cannot be trusted to present an undistorted account of action, or a naive narrator who remains unaware of full complexity of events in the story being told because it's their perspective, they don't know the whole story. And then the next one is a non-participant or third-party person narrator. It says third-person narrators are never characters in the story. These narrators relate the events of the story and unseen observers, referring to all characters as he, she, or they. And my example of that is in the poem Ernest Hemingway's The Hills Like White Elephants. He says the woman brought 2 glasses of beer and 2 felt pads. She put the felt pads and the beer glasses on the table and looked at the man and the girl. So he's saying the pronoun she, which is referring to the other person in the story. And there's different types of third persons. There's an omniscient narrator, and it says all knowing. The third person narrator observe the thoughts and describe the actions of multiple characters in the story. Then you got a limited omniscient, and then an objective point of narrator, which is all talking about a third person point of view. And then for our last detail is the second person narrator. It says second person narration. It's the least common one. First, the reader like a participant in the story. It also creates a sense of closeness to the protagonist. And my example of that is in 319 of Junot Diaz's How to Date a Brown Girl, Black Girl, White Girl, Halfie. He says, "Wait for your brother and your mother to leave the apartment. You've already told them that you're feeling too sick to go to Union City to visit." And he's using the pronoun yours, which is a second person pronoun, and that's just describing the second person point of view. And that is my chapter 11 point of view.